very rarely observed in their natural habitat. Fewer than half a dozen have ever been captured on film or video by deep diving research vehicles. This little angler, about 9 centimeters long, is named Melanocetus. It is also known as the Black Sea Devil, and it lives in the deep dark waters of the Monterey Canyon. We believe that this is the first video footage ever made of this species alive and at depth. Anglers have a remarkable apparatus on their heads, a fishing pole with a luminous lure at the tip, which they use to attract their prey. In the darkness of deep water, they flash the light to attract prey and draw them near the angler's mouth. When a fish or squid swims up, it is quickly inhaled by the angler's huge mouth and trapped by its long, sharp teeth. Given the shape of this angler's body, it's pretty clearly not designed for speed. Instead, these are ambush predators lurking in the darkness to grab an unwary meal. Another thing we can tell from the shape of the body is that this is a female. In this species, the males are much smaller and they lack the fishing pole and lure. Males are ill-equipped for feeding, and their sole responsibility appears to be to find a female and mate with her as soon as possible. When we came upon this specimen at a depth of about 600 meters, we noted that she has a broken tooth. You can see it on the left side of her lower jaw. We have no idea whether it will be replaced by another after it falls off. So far as we know, there is no tooth fairy in the deep ocean. You can see that the eyes of this angler are quite small. In their dark habitat, anglerfish rely more on feeling the movements of other animals in the water around them than on vision. The tiny pale dots you see along the sides of the fish and on its head are organs very sensitive to the slightest movements, and they function very effectively in the dark. The deep sea is filled with surprises and wonderful creatures. Humans have only just begun to explore this vast realm, and we can only imagine what discoveries are yet to be made. This is Bruce Robeson from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute.
Encampment in downtown Hong Kong on Monday. After a night of tense clashes, we witnessed the pre-dawn confrontations. It took place when demonstrators from here sought to move out of here to capture more territory as part of an effort to blockade the Hong Kong central government headquarters. This protest leaders said, was an effort to try to put more pressure on the government to give in to the demonstrators' so-called democratic demands. Well, within a matter of hours, the police had come in with batons, with pepper spray. They detained dozens of demonstrators and cleared out thousands of protesters and their barricades in a matter of minutes. But here at the main protest encampment, the situation is still very much the status quo. What we have seen now for more than 2 months as this tent city has grown up here, as we see this entire area where the students are able to study. They even have exercise bikes here, just to give you a sense of how permanent this encampment has become. At the crux of the dispute, it's the demonstrators' demands for what they say should be a more democratic election for their top official in 2017, and chafing at restrictions made by the central government of China over how candidates can be vetted for that top position. The Hong Kong government showing no signs of giving in to those demands, so this test of wills continues, and this is really a marathon drama continuing to be played out in the streets of this city. Ivan Watson, CNN, Hong Kong.
smoke. Hundreds flee after 3 explosions hit a mosque in northeast Nigeria's largest city, Kano. As survivors try to escape, gunmen with AK-47s open fire. So far, dozens are dead, and survivors say that what they saw was horrific.
I was at the mosque before we started praying, and there was a sound of a bomb explosion.
Did you see the gunman?
Yeah, I saw one of them. He had a scar all around his head. You can really see eyes. I saw dead bodies all over, all around. Dead bodies, legs, human parts, littered all over the places. So I had to run away. You know, when you're running for your life, you don't have the time to start looking everywhere. I was just thinking about my life.
In a turn of events, a mob overpowered some of the gunmen and killed them. No one has claimed responsibility for Friday's attack, but the militant Islamic group Boko Haram has fought over this area in recent years, including a string of attacks in 2012 that killed more than 180 people in a single day. Friday's attacks targeted Muslims attending prayers, and that may be because Kano's religious leader, Mohammed Sanusi, has encouraged vigilante attacks against Boko Haram.
He essentially urged people across the north to arm themselves, and he supported vigilante movements which have sprung up across the northeast to battle Boko Haram.
Fires, mangled bicycles, the skeleton of a car, all physical damage of Friday's attack. And as President Jonathan calls for a full investigation, he's also expressed condolences for those with the real scars. Lives destroyed, and the men, women, and children who must heal. Jessica King, CNN.
Officer Wilson and the City of Ferguson. The City of Ferguson will not be making a severance payment to Officer Wilson. Now is the time for the City of Ferguson to begin its healing process with the citizens of Ferguson and the police department. We truly understand the past 3 months have been very difficult for everyone involved. But now as we move forward, I would like to mention a couple of initiatives that are currently taking place. Our number one goal is to bring together our police department and our community, to bridge the gap between those who feel there is a divide between them and law enforcement. I have convened a task force made up of residents, businesses, and law enforcement to create a civilian review board that will review complaints and provide citizen input to Ferguson police policies and procedures. The task force meets weekly, and its efforts are already underway. This groundbreaking initiative will be one of the first of its kind in this region. We are also dedicated to improving the relations between the Ferguson Police Department and our youth. Police Chief Tom Jackson is committed to working with the area's school districts to establish a Police Explorer program for students in the surrounding districts. The Police Explorer program will be implemented in schools in the fall of 2015. Third, the City of Ferguson has established a scholarship program to recruit African American candidates to attend the police academy. The scholarship would be repaid by an employment commitment to the City of Ferguson for 2 years after the completion of the academy. This initiative is a proactive step in making the department more reflective of the demographics of our community. Finally, myself, along with the Ferguson City Council, are committed to increasing the residency incentive for police officers in the City of Ferguson. In 2015, we will pass for a stipend increase from the current $100 to $300 per month for officers who are living in our community. Encouraging police officers to reside in the City of Ferguson will help ensure officers are invested in the community in which they serve.
online iets kopen gaat meestal goed, maar niet altijd. Betaal daarom altijd met je creditcard. Dan heb je aflevergarantie. Check. 180 dagen aankoopverzekering. Check. Online shoppen? Zeker, met je creditcard.